Good morning, Ike.
Morning, Wingnut. Is this like beaver
We're
or
testing
something?
the jerky. Tell me what you think.
That's good.
So much of what we do in the hunting world these days is DIY this and DIY that. Why not DIY your jerky? I mean, seriously, this is not hard.
Hey guys, Todd Helms here with Wingmen to show you how to make one of my personal favorites, goose jerky. We've all got a bunch of goose breasts laying around. I eat up my duck pretty fast. It goes quickly in my house between stir fry and roasted ducks, and then my kids love duck fingers. They don't like chicken strips, so that's a win. We like to make goose jerky. I have 4 big goose breasts here. I'm not going to weigh these things out right yet. I'm going to trim them up, slice them up, and then I'll weigh so I know exactly how much Hi Mountain Jerky Cure and seasoning to mix up for this blend. As you can see today, I've got the original blend. When I pass it out and people don't know what it is, they're like, oh, this is really good beef jerky. And I just say, yeah, it's great. It's Hi Mountain, made it myself. They're like, oh, is this elk? Oh, is this deer? Oh, is this beef? And I'm like, nope, it's goose. And invariably it floors people, blows people's minds. I don't make all of my goose up into jerky, but we do quite a bit. We kill a lot of birds, and we have to have some variety and something to do with them. And Hi Mountain jerky kits are the way to go if you like to make your own jerky. There's a ton of different flavors. Again, we chose the original for this batch. So you might be wondering what this square piece of plastic is with this funny looking handle sticking out of it. This is the Hi Mountain Jerky Slicing Board. I don't know if I got that name exactly right, but we're going to try this out. I'm going to show you how this works. It's going to guide my cuts to make the perfect thickness for my jerky. It comes with everything you need to pull this off, including the handy dandy Outdoor Edge Hi Mountain Seasonings knife. It's very, very sharp. So we're thawed out. We've got our jerky kit. We've got our jerky board. Notice I don't have anything metal other than my knife blade here. The reason is I don't want to get any of that mixed up. This jerky packet will tell you, this jerky kit will tell you that you can either use glass or plastic. Maybe a plastic bag to cure your jerky in, plastic bowls, or glass. You do not want to use metal. The cure, the seasonings combined with metal, going to give your stuff a really nasty, gnarly, metallic off taste. Goose breast on the board. There's little bumps on this board that's going to keep this meat from sliding. As you can see, it'll move, but it's not going to slide very easily. This is some of the stuff that I was talking about. This is my tenderloin, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to trim that off, and that is definitely going to be made into jerky. I don't want any of this connective tissue. Some of these blood vessels and some of this fat. So I'm going to trim this stuff off. And that's about as much as I'm going to take. This is my waste bin, if you will. It's got a little hand on here for your directions. So I'm going to place my hand on here like this. And I'm going to push down firmly and just let the knife ride right on this edge and slice my way right through this meat as I press down so that meat does not move. And what we're gonna end up with here is I just cut this breast just about in half, and look at that. That, ladies and gentlemen, is about the perfect thickness. This is going to be, it's sliced kind of, not quite across the grain, so it is gonna be a little chewy, but I kind of like my jerky to have some to it. If it's wimpy jerky and it just melts in your mouth, that's not really jerky then, is it? Trim some of this other stuff off. So now what I can do is, if I don't want it that wide, I can cut this into strips with my board, just like this. This is handy because there's grooves on this board to make this happen. And I have the perfect thickness for jerky. This is slick. I'm going to lay these out
Here we go again. I'm gonna put the meat back on the board and we're gonna slice again. It kind of reminds me of like a deli slicer. It's cool, I like it. Talk about easy though. Again, you can make them wide, you can make them narrow, completely customizable. When it comes to meat, one of my rules, especially with wild game, is if I look at a piece of meat and there's something connected to it, say it's tissue, say it's blood vessels, say it's blood shot, and I look at that and I think, I don't want to eat that. Cut it away, throw it away, feed it to your dog. Dogs will eat just about anything. So take the prep time now and make the meat look the way you want it to look, so it is perfect when it comes out of the smoker, the oven, the dehydrator, however you want to make your jerky, or for that matter, any type of meat. This chunk is a little bit frozen still. There again, there's my tenderloin. I'm gonna cut that, just throw that in the pile. I've got another one right here. I kind of peel away and use this, man, this knife is sharp. Throw that in there. Again, I don't want this, this fatty tissue. I'm gonna cut that out. Don't feel bad if you can't get your meat thawed out completely. This is frozen here in the middle. Look at that. You see how fast, how easily that cuts? This breast right here, this has some bloodshot to it. I'm gonna do some trimming on this to see if I can salvage this. Take a cross-section slice and see. So a little plug here, ladies and gentlemen. You see all these shot holes in this bird? I was shooting TSS, Federal Premium Black Cloud TSS 9s mixed with 3s on a few of these birds. And I'm pretty sure that's what I'm looking at here, is all these little small holes are number 9 TSS shot. That's the amount of penetration and damage that the TSS can do right there. I think we're gonna be okay with this. I don't think this is damaged too badly to eat. No, we're good. We're good. This will be just fine. The majority of the meat is clean and clear, and we're gonna eat it. If this was badly bloodshot all the way through, I would either throw it out or figure out something else, something different to do with it. Ooh, that one's pretty bloodshot. Let's take a look here. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. When you start slicing this stuff, if you're seeing this meat's pretty badly riddled. Look at this. That's not what you don't want to eat that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off right here. This is going to go in the trash pile. This is still salvageable. There is all of my trimmed meat. That took, if I wouldn't have been jacking my jaw and explaining the whole process about how this board worked, this would have taken me a couple minutes to do 4 goose breasts. I need to weigh all of my meat first. Now, I figured out a way to do this a few years ago that saves me a step, saves me some headache. Take your meat from your pan. Don't bother weighing the pan, zeroing everything out. You're not going to throw off your mixture with a Ziploc bag, and the meat's going to go in here. I'm going to measure out my ingredients. I'm going to dump it right in here, and I can mix it up in the bag. This can go right on my scale. My scale is right at 3 pounds. I couldn't have done that any better if I'd have wanted to cut out 3 pounds. This is perfect. So we have 3 pounds of meat. So I'm going to need to mix up 1 tablespoon and 1.5 teaspoons of the seasoning, which is this packet right here. It's darker. I'm also, to that, I'm going to have to blend in and mix in the shaker bottle 2 tablespoons of the cure. That's the light colored stuff. Instead of trying to pour measures of seasoning and cure into this and bottle and mixing it all up, I get it everywhere. I put it into a measuring cup, and then I stir it all together. That's stirred up nice and even. Be careful, it'll come out all at once if you let it. Just like that, I've got it all. So, that's all in there. Snap the lid on. It's mixed up, it's ready to go. Now all that's left is to season my meat, little bit at a time. I'll sprinkle this on, be liberal with it, mix it up. We're gonna use all of it, remember, because we have 3 pounds of meat here. Make sure you get down into the corners of that bag. Make sure you get all of it. You don't want just some of it mixed in, you want all of it. The end result is some of the best jerky I guarantee you've ever had. We're good to go. Now it's time to seal up the bag. I'm just gonna fold it over and make it as airtight as possible. Close it up. I'm gonna put it inside another Ziploc bag. It's gonna go in the refrigerator for 24 hours. So we're back 24 hours later to dry this jerky out and actually make it into jerky. I'm gonna use the conventional oven. I've set this on 200 degrees. That's about where you want it. Again, follow the directions in the Hi Mountain Jerky kit for your exact temperatures. That's what I've figured out works for me is 200 degrees, so that's what we're gonna use. You can do this on a wood-fired grill, you can use a smoker, you can do it in a dehydrator. Whatever you want to do, whatever's easiest for you, do that. I want to show you though how I've got my oven set up, because as this dries it is going to give off some liquid. I've got my racks set in the middle of the oven. I have lots of space here, and I've made sure that I have tin foil, aluminum foil, to catch any drippings that might come from this jerky. So I just want to spread it out on my oven rack nice and evenly. If you have smaller racks, you can use smaller racks. Smaller racks work very, very well. Say you can put smaller racks over cookie sheets to catch all this, and that would work every bit as well as setting it directly on the oven racks. I'm doing it this way to show you you don't need an awful lot of fancy equipment to make this jerky. You want to get your jerky spaced out tight enough where you can fit all of it on your oven racks, but not so tight that there's no airflow in between your pieces of jerky. You've got to have airflow. Otherwise, you're not going to get any drying action. This is going to be in the oven for right around 2 hours. I'm going to set this in there, and that's it. I'm going to close this thing up, and in about 2 hours, about an hour and a half, I'm going to check it and make sure it's where I want it to be. I am going to leave my door a little bit cracked. So it's been exactly an hour and a half since I put the jerky in the oven, and let's open this thing and see what we've got. I think we're going to be just about right. Yeah, look at that. So this is what we're looking for. I take a piece like this. I don't want my jerky to snap. I do want it to bend because I do like it to be a little tender. But that is nice. See, I've got these white fibers, these white filaments. That's telling me that this jerky is dry and is in perfect condition. Well, here's the real test. And it'll only get more flavorful as it cures, or cools, I should say. That's good stuff. Hey, there you have it. DIY goose jerky with the Hi Mountain Seasonings jerky kit. This is the original. They make a bunch of different flavors. Head on over to the Hi Mountain website. Check out what they've got. Order some of your favorite flavors. I think you're going to be really impressed. Hey, until next time, guys, we'll see you in the field.
I already know it's goose. That's awesome.